Oh boy, Elden Ring Nightreign is one of those let's mess up my sleep schedule as bad as possible type games. I wasn't exactly sure how much I would love this game. I knew I was going to like it. I love Fromsoft and I love Elden Ring, but the multiplayer aspect did turn me off a little bit, especially with Miyazaki's new game Duskbloods coming out for Switch 2. It's like, why are they going in this multiplayer direction? But still, it was Elden Ring. I love the idea of fighting the Night Lords with your teammates, so I was like, let's go into it with open arms. And I'm absolutely obsessed with it. So, two reasons in specific why this game is a lot better for me than I initially thought it was going to be. One, solo is totally viable, especially since the update. When it first came out, it was a little ridiculous, and I'm not the person that will say a game is too hard, but solo, when this game launched, was too hard, and it was because a lot of the boss fights and encounters are designed for multiple people. You're supposed to have 3 people with you, so you're fighting multiple bosses at once. There's a lot of stuff coming at you from off screen, and you just didn't have enough at your disposal to take them on. But since the update, it genuinely balanced it to where it's a really good solo experience now. Like, you get way more runes in solo, so you level up a lot faster, so you're just tankier and stronger, and you get a revive every time you're fighting one of the bosses, because you fight a boss at night 1, night 2, and then the third night, if you survive, you're gonna fight the Night Lord. And each of those times, you're going to revive at least once if you go down. But there's also other items they have in the shop while you're exploring the realm that you could buy that will just revive you also. So sometimes I would fight the Night Lord and literally have 3 revives. So it is really solo friendly now. And then the second reason, which is the best part of this game, are the characters. So I didn't actually realize the game was going to be like this, but it has 8 specific characters that you're going to play as that are basically classes. And they all have a special move that they could utilize. They all have a passive ability, and they all have a super move. And we haven't had a Fromsoft game that really kind of has characters like this. You're usually building your own character and changing stats. Well, here, these are characters with backstories, voice acting, and just abilities that match their personality and background. For example, Wilder has a grapple hook, which actually adds a crazy movement mechanic to this combat system. The Revenant, which is my favorite class, could summon her own big ghosts that just fight alongside you, and she could revive other enemies that you kill, and they will fight alongside you. The way these classes synergize with each other is really fun and make for some really hype moments. Some of my favorites are the revive scenarios where 2 of your teammates will be down and you'll take the Guardian and just fly up into the air with a super move, slam the ground, it revives both your teammates for you. Or again, when you're the Revenant, her super move is you revive everybody. So if you're last alive, you could either clutch out the boss or smack it enough until your super move is charged, and then boom, you just revive all your teammates. And then the relics that you get are more of the roguelike elements, which we'll go into a bit later, but it really changes how the characters play. Like for Wilder, you can make something where you grapple and you have a follow-up attack with fire. And in the Revenant, for example, you could just do a giant ghost explosion when you activate your revive super move. So there's a lot of customization here. And again, the game is a roguelike, but I've never played a game sort of like this. This is a Souls game from Software through and through. You have a story, you have characters, you could play the whole thing solo, and when you beat a certain number of Night Lords, you get the final boss, and you have to beat the final boss to see the ending and credits. It's a full game. It's not just a multiplayer game. I thought maybe we'd go in, just matchmake, and basically do multiplayer over and over, but no. There's side quests for all the characters where you go through 8 chapters for each of them to see their backstories, unlock new relics, and even skins for them. And you could do those in solo so easily. It'll tell you to go back into Limveld and find a certain item or talk to certain NPCs. So while it's a multiplayer game for sure, I love these single player elements and just the fact it feels like a normal Fromsoft RPG most of the time. You're just with friends this time. And trust me, it doesn't get old when you and the homies are walking towards that Night Lord ready to go to war. Now, let me give you a quick rundown of how Elden Ring Nightreign plays, just in case you haven't seen it. It's a pretty simple game, actually. You're going to choose which character you're going to play as. It's going to drop you into a random part of the map, and the first day, you're usually going to be raiding camps, trying to level up a little bit, and basically get yourself settled. You can also go to churches to get yourself more healing flasks, and at the end of the day, because you are being timed, so it's a very fast-paced game, you want to go from objective to objective and kind of learn the map. At the end of the day, you're going to fight a boss. If you lose on the boss, your run is over. Now, anytime before the boss, if you die, you just lose a level and you got to go back and get your souls. If you make it past day 1, you're on day 2 and things get a little tougher. There's more strong bosses around the map, more activities to do to get yourself leveled up, because the highest level is 15. You're not going to be editing stats. You basically find graces, and whenever you do, it's going to heal you up, give you your flasks back, and you're going to level up, and it's going to level you up based on your specific character. And it gets a little hard day 2, and once you get to the end of it, again, you're going to fight a boss at the end of the day. If you lose, you lose the run. If you win, then you go to day 3 and fight the Night Lord. Beat the Night Lord and you get a special relic at the end of it, and in general, every time you finish a run, even if the run sucked, you're going to get a bunch of relics, which are little perks you're going to edit into your character. If you played roguelites, you know how this works. It's going to basically be able to edit your character a little stronger or to whatever build you want and take it in with you in the next run. You also get a currency every time you finish a run, which can be used to purchase more relics at randomization or even buy skins for your characters, which some even have some nostalgic fan service Dark Souls skins in here, which I thought was really cool. Now, some positive and negatives about this. One giant positive is the weapon pool of Elden Ring is massive. There's hundreds of weapons, hundreds of relics and perks that you can get, and if you didn't try a lot of these weapons in base game Elden Ring, you're going to get to try them here, so it never feels boring. You're always going to be finding different weapons and stuff to use. And on the flip side, one thing I thought they could have done a bit better was the boss pool and enemy variety. There's so many enemies and bosses in Elden Ring, I'm surprised they didn't take more. Now, there's even some old Dark Souls bosses you'll find here, which on a fan service level is really, really cool. Now, lore reasons, I hope there is a reason, because I'm just kind of nerdy like that. I want an actual canon reason why these enemies, like the Nameless King, are in Elden Ring. So I'm going to be watching some YouTube channels about lore and see if they could find anything, but I feel like they could have taken more bosses from Elden Ring, and specifically Shadow of the Erdtree. There is no Shadow of the Erdtree bosses or enemies here, which I think is a missed opportunity. The relics can also be kind of basic. Now, the character-specific ones are really cool because it actually changes how your characters play a little bit. And it's still fun to build your character with the relics, but a lot of them can be really basic. Like, oh, +2 vigor, +2 strength, poison status doesn't do as much damage, like stuff like that. And it gets kind of old, but at the same time, the map is always changing enough, and there's a lot of variety to where, I mean, after 70 hours and pretty much every Night Lord defeated, I am not bored at all. I'm still addicted to the game and trying to get a bunch of currency to unlock all the skins and finish all the characters' side stories. And then, of course, the number one thing that makes it all worth it and just an absolutely fantastic experience is the Night Lords. So there is 9 brand new boss fights, and they are spectacular, dude. There's about one that annoys me every time I fight it. All the other ones are just insane, and they have beautiful soundtracks to go along with them. They're really uniquely designed, like totally brand new. You have not seen any of these movesets or bosses before. So that in itself, for me, is worth the $40 price tag. Like, just getting to these Night Lords is so cool, and getting to see these boss fights, specifically if you play these games for the boss fights like me. And what's even more fun is trying to beat them solo after the fact of beating them a bunch of times in co-op, because you now know their movesets. And when it comes to the Night Lords, yes, they're still slightly designed for multiple people, but it's one-on-one fights, right? It's not like the previous days through your cycle where they'll actually put multiple bosses in the arena. These are just one-on-one destructive enemies you're fighting. It's really, really cool, dude. And just in general, dude, I love this game. I truly think if you're a FromSoft fan or just enjoy Souls games, you will absolutely have a fun fun time here. Much more of a fun time if you have friends or people you could squad up with, but even then, getting in with randoms is not as bad, at least in my experience, as some people may make it out to be. A lot of them know what they're doing, and when you mark something on the map, they'll follow it. Now, I've definitely had experiences where someone will leave the game, lag out, or some players just are ass. They have no idea what they're doing. But if you're already a mega fan of Elden Ring or Fromsoft and you don't have friends to play with, I would actually still stay get it and try to play it solo or play with randoms. Again, it was very balanced for solo now, so it really does work. And in general, I'm happy this game exists, and I like that they experimented with this formula because it's a very unique style of game, right? It's not just a roguelite. It's a very weird combination of an actual FromSoft Souls game with roguelike elements. So really fun game. I don't know how I feel about the whole studio going in this direction though. Duskbloods will probably be similar. I'll probably end up playing it even though I'm sketched out about it and end up loving it, but that's it for now. Go back to single player RPGs after Duskbloods, please, FromSoft. We don't want a bunch of multiplayer games, right? It was a nice experiment. It really does work, but at the same time, I want them to go back to their roots after Duskbloods. But yeah, this was my review of Elden Ring Nightreign. Hopefully you guys found it useful or enjoyable. I hope you guys have a fantastic day. I will also leave my new Discord link down below in the description. If you guys ever want to play Elden Ring Nightreign with me or my community, feel free to join, or if you just want to join and talk about Souls games, JRPGs, RPGs, all that sort of stuff. So yeah, hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one very soon. Peace.